is the one that was made by the Pharaoh Ramses II. Whereas agreed, Ramses II never missed on a chance where he can put a hand on a wall and he would be decorating it with the Battle of Qadesh, where he would be claiming that he won over the Hittites, although as agreed the war went rough. And again, like he would never miss on a chance, like you've seen in Abu Simbel, where he would show himself like riding the horse, horse-driven chariot. You can see the horse up there? And he would be depicted on a larger scale. Hittites would be depicted on a very smaller scale, lying on their backs, asking mercy and forgiveness of him. So that's basically the theme that we have on the facade in here. He had two seated figures, which are the ones that flank the entrance, and there were four standing figures. Only one of them is still standing in a good shape, plus two obelisks. This one and the sister one, which is the missing one here, is the one that stands today in the Place de la Concorde in Paris. It is that one that I was telling you, it is the dumbest deal we ever made in our modern history, where we got the clock that never really worked, you know, in exchange for that clock by the King Philippe, Louis, King of France, and the obelisk is still standing in a perfect shape in the Place de la Concorde. The baboons decorating the base of the pedestal, to that obelisk, but again, baboons are the symbols of rising sun. So that's where it was connected always with the worship of the sun, and whenever anything is dedicated to that god, they will have to be shown around it. So and console. And this part of the temple here on your right side is an undug part, and it would remain so for God knows how long, due to the fact that it has that monument right above, which is the mausoleum and mosque of that local saint I was telling you about, known as Abu al-Hajjaj, one of the Fatimid saints that dated back to the 10th century. And again, it is where the celebration would be performed on annual basis, carrying the barge that would be decorated and carrying his name, parading through the Corniche, which is the waterfront or the edge of Luxor here. You notice they have two complete different qualities to them. Where the part at the top in here is much more intricate, delicate, fine inscription or hieroglyphics. The lower part in here is nothing but those deep sunken inscriptions, and they are basically a repetition of the same thing.
Like a Karnak.
Like everywhere, where this basically is the Ramesside era that had started this in fashion, making deep, huge, sunk-in inscriptions to the mosque of Abu al-Hajjaj. And again, basically, you'd notice that since the dawn of civilization, when places gain a certain reputation, they just happen to keep it, whether it's good or bad. So if a place like this, develops a reputation of being sacred, it goes on being sacred, and everybody comes and practices their beliefs. And the Christians had practiced their services in here. Would be able to see a church. There would be a Roman temple ruins. Muslims came and practiced their service in here. And up till today, there are those groups I was telling you about earlier. Like those who believe in the supernatural power. We call them the metaphysical groups. They think so highly of this temple, and they call it the man temple. If you look at the temple's diagram from a bird eye view, you can think of a man lying on his back. Where the two rows to them, you can see the color is still in a beautiful shape, although it doesn't really look like it is so vivid, but yet it would be. Where again, if you remember, we were talking about the area that has been completely blackened out, by the years, and just recently it was given a good cleaning job by the Spanish expedition that had come into here. Once again, they were so grayish a couple of years ago until the expedition came and did that wonderful job. I mean, giving them a good cleaning job. Only no retouchments were done. So the Egyptian temple, I mean, is to continue through in here. And here we have a Roman temple that was constructed or modified, I mean, around the Egyptian temple grounds. All they see on the walls. There is a lot of color. And again, when you compare it with the frescoes that we have seen outside, it's 10 times colorful as the other ones were at once. So what's waiting to happen in here is a good cleaning job, and you can see the scaffolds are there already, you know, to give that cleaning job to that area. That basically is the offering table room area. Once again, it's not the original one, it is a reconstruction that took place by the Greeks in the 3rd century BC in order to show how much they care about the Egyptian cult, and in order to end up having both Egyptians and Greeks worshipping the same God in the same temple grounds. And actually the original sanctuary would be further down, where the group is standing, and again it's completely gone or disappeared except for a few remains of some of the pillars that were right in front of it. And again, like you can see over there, like right behind the open area, the road is there. So I mean, like, definitely there is more to even explore and discover under the road, and probably all the way to the Winter Palace. So there is another layer of Luxor waiting to be dug out or discovered, with God knows what would be in it. So this is the depicted on the wall in the shape of the god of fertility, with the male organ erected, and again one hand raised with the flame being held in it, and that's the part where he would be receiving the lettuce as the main offering within that celebration. And knowing that this is the, the part where the honeymoon is being practiced, the sanctuary also is decorated with